When I press that, it allows me to add on uncle voice. And if I press call now, and if I start talking through this, you can hear on the other side, it's added a different voice, which I thought was quite a good feature, because how many times has there been someone alone and you see there's someone who's at the door and you think, this doesn't look right, I don't want to put my own voice on, so you don't want to put, let's say, a female voice on. You can have this change the voice too. I don't know why you'd have a clown voice on there. This is the first time I'm actually wiring up Hikvision's modular door intercom system. What I wanted to see is, as it's an IP system, I want to see how easy, how quick it is to plug it in, configure it, and get it all up and running. So let's first go through what parts of the system I've got. The first part is the actual main call station. This actually comes in a modular system, so depending on what units I want, we then get the different housing that adds them on. So for example, on here, I've got the main call station, then I've got the touchscreen unit, and then I've also got the indoor station. So just to cover some of the features, on the main call station, this houses a 2 megapixel fisheye camera. So fisheye meaning very wide angle camera. And also it's got a simple one button call. It's got the option of having 2 lock controls from there, and it's standard PoE. Now configuring that, I configured it all via the internal station. I didn't actually need anything else. So you can configure the whole unit simply from the internal door station. It also has the option to link to a lock where it provides the power supply. So let's say you've got a strike lock which only requires under 500 milliamps of power. You can power that directly from this unit without the need of an additional power supply. So the next unit I've got underneath is the touchscreen display unit from here. This is also a card reader, and it also allows you to dial which station you want to dial, and it has the contact list of up to 2,000 users can be entered into there. So this comes with 4 features. So 1 is the dial number. 2 is the contact list. So here I've got the contacts. 3, we can enter the PIN code. And 4, we can actually use it for advertisement. So you can display an advertisement on there as well. And as well as the advertisement, this can support multiple languages too. So then what I've done, I've connected via PoE simply, and we're on the same network, the indoor station. So the unit has a setup wizard pretty much like the other Hik devices. And I'll run you through how easy and simple it is to do that. Door station is a nice 7-inch touchscreen. Now this also has outputs connect to a lock as well. So let's say, for example, this is in your apartment and you wanted to open a door within the apartment, whereas the call station would open either a gate or the main door for a block of apartment. The other key feature that this has, it connects up with Hik-Connect. So if I go into the settings, this is Hik-Connect. And the benefit of the Hik-Connect is you can have the notifications come through onto your app. The other added feature that we have from this touchscreen unit is, as well as having live view from the door station itself. So if I was to go to the door station, I've got live. I can also stream in other cameras, Hikvision cameras that I've got around the property straight through onto the device. So it's sort of like 2-in-1 for viewing functionality. So now what I'll do, I'll simply press the button and see how the notification comes through on the indoor station. Answer it, call, fine. I've got feedback, I can release the door. Now, it does come with another feature, which I thought it was a bit strange, but it allows you to have a different voice on. So let's say, for example, there's maybe a female at home alone or a young child. I won't go into what age, what you're allowed to have children at home, but let's say someone's home alone and they want to make it look like an older person is home. It has a feature where you can change the voice. So once I press call, on here it comes up with, it says original voice, and it's got a picture of a mustache and glasses. When I press that, it allows me to add on uncle voice. And if I press call now, and if I start talking through this, you can hear on the other side, it's added a different voice, which I thought was quite a good feature, because how many times has there been someone alone and you see there's someone who's at the door and you think, this doesn't look right, I don't want to put my own voice on, so you don't want to put, let's say, a female voice on. You can have this change the voice too. I don't know why you'd have a clown voice on there, but that's something I'd probably have to ask Hikvision about. So I've also got a secondary door station here as well. So this is a slightly different model to the one I've got here. This one has got tempered glass on it, so they both also still have Wi-Fi connectivity too. So if I press the button now, it'll ring through to on both monitors, and then at the same time it will also ring through onto my mobile phone. So from my mobile phone, I can also answer the device as well. So if I wanted to add a user onto the system, I go to the person permission setup, press add, put the person's name in, so I'll populate it with my name. I can select now a PIN code. So if I go to PIN code, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's now saved it. You see it says importing here. And now if I want to add a card as well, I'll go to add card and it'll ask me to present the card within the 10 seconds. So it recognized the card, it inputted the information into here, and now the card is registered on my card management system. So I've got my name, password, and card registered. So if I was to pop along to the system, enter the PIN code. So the PIN code, it says unlock, you press hash and the PIN code and OK. I press hash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, press OK. It then unlocks the card. And if I wanted to use the card, I can simply wave the card in front of the unit as well. So that is the Hikvision modular door intercom system. And what I'll do, I will link in all the parts of the system that I've got here, so you can see if you want to replicate this exact one for a job that you've got, you can see all the part numbers. Or if you want to get a price, you can contact any of the distributors that supply the Hikvision products.